The new Spider Man movie, Spider Man Brand New Day, has been highly rated by everybody, but is the hype really worth it? In my opinion, yes, the hype was definitely worth it. I think this is the best Spider Man movie ever released. The action scenes were incredible, it had a great plot concept. The audience experienced every single emotion watching this movie. I love the intro of characters such as the Hulk, the Punisher, Tom Holland. He was so good this movie. I thought this movie had everything to it. I also want to give major credit to the screenwriters of this movie, Chris McKenna and Eric Summers. I thought they did a brilliant job with the plot and storyline of the movie. It was captivating and engaging. And now I'm just going to give a quick outline of some of the key, concepts and storylines within the movie. And before you carry on watching the video, there are going to be spoilers. So if you haven't watched the movie yet, please click off. But now going into the plot, storyline kind of thing. So we see a lonely side of Peter Parker, but we also see an active version of Spider-Man who works with the New York police force to fight off crime. We see the introduction of villains such as Ramrod, Tarantula, Boomerang, Tombstone, a Scorpion, and the Hand, but they're not really the main aspect of the movie. So the main plot of the movie is to do with two parties, Damage Control and a teenager by the name of Jean Grey. Jean Grey, she has superpowers, so she's able to control people's minds, possess people's minds, and Jean Grey, she had an older sister by the name of Sarah, and she had the same power as well. However, Damage Control, they found out about this power, and they tracked Sarah down, captured her, and used her for tests. And during these tests, Sarah, Jean Grey's sister, unfortunately passed away. However, Jean Grey doesn't know about this. She just thinks that her sister is captured, and her objective is to find her sister. And that's why she's been controlling people's minds to launch attacks on Damage Control so she can get to her sister. However, during the movie, we aren't informed about this. We are informed about this at the very latter stages of the movie. So from Spider-Man's perspective early on, he just seeing somebody with mind controlling, mind possessive powers launching attacks on Damage Control in order to, possess a weapon or some type of, instrument, whatever they need. So from his perspective, he's trying to find out who's launching these attacks and he's trying to take them down. And eventually he does take them down. He finds Jean Grey, he finds out her identity, and she gets captured by Damage Control. However, Spider-Man later on realizes that Jean Grey is not at fault here. He's actually Damage Control and the leader of Damage Control by the name of Bill Metzger. So he eventually needs to right his mistakes and save Jean Grey, and eventually a good conclusion happens in the movie. Spider-Man, he gets shot during the action scene. However, he's fine. And there's a lot more things within the movie, a lot more little storylines that, I don't cover here, but that's really the main aspect. Some things I forget to mention. You see MJ and Ned, they forget about Spider-Man, they forget about Peter, and Peter just watches from the background how their lives unfold. Hulk is also introduced in the movie. Spider-Man experiences some troubles with his hormonal level due to his loneliness. The arachnid hormones, they elevate, and because of this, an aggressive side of Spider-Man is released that he can't really control. So using the Hulk's help and knowledge, he creates an inhibitor to suppress the arachnid hormone level so he can, stay composed and calm. We also see Jean Grey control people's minds and mess with Spider-Man with it. There were some scenes that were crazy to see. I'm not going to go deep into it, but that MJ scene where Peter gets pump faked is one of the craziest and darkest scenes I've ever seen in my life. We also see the introduction of the Punisher, who helps Spider-Man throughout the movie. I thought he adds really good comedic relief as well. We see, quick snapshot of Aunt May as well, which is a sentimental scene. I think you have to pay homage to her in this movie, especially with the involvement in the last three movies. And yeah, the end of the movie is very intriguing too. We see that, Ned, he remembers the handshake with Peter, and he also remembers Peter's name as well, which isn't really supposed to happen if you watch the previous movies. But, the movie ends off on a cliffhanger, and it also shows that the next Spider-Man movie is potentially based in space. So this movie It was incredible to see. It was such a great experience to see in the cinema. But it also ended off in a cliffhanger, and there's going to be another Spider-Man movie. So Spider-Man, it's an incredible franchise. They've done so well with it, and it's stronger than ever, and it's only going to keep going. And also a huge shout out to Tom Holland. I thought he absolutely nailed his part being Spider Man. I think it's his most complete and best performance in the Spider Man series so far. He did a really good job of portraying Spider Man's darker side. He showed that, Spider Man was struggling to maintain a balance between being Peter Parker and Spider Man. His comedic scenes were really good. I thought the action scenes were incredible from him. He does his own stunts, as they always are, to be honest. And yeah, I thought this was a very complete performance from Tom Holland, so you have to tip your hat to him. Also, another actor that deserves major credit is Sadie Sink. This is the first time she's ever played in the Spider-Man series, and I thought she fit seamlessly. She was the antagonist for the majority of the movie, and then, switched to a good character that shows her acting range. So, once again, I thought she delivered an incredible performance and added so much to the movie. And I also thought that the three new characters that were added to the film were really good. The Punisher, he was great comedic relief and had great on-screen chemistry with Spider-Man. I thought the Hulk was really good as a mentor, and he also fought Spider-Man in a scene. It was an epic fight. And Black Widow's sister, Yelena Belova, I thought she was great as well. Offered great comedic relief. So the three new additions were really good in this movie for sure. In my opinion, Spider-Man Brand New Day is the best Spider-Man ever. I've seen a lot of arguments on social media determining which Spider-Man was the best. Spider-Man 1, 2, 3, the Amazing Spider-Mans, or, the Tom Holland edition of Spider-Man. In my opinion, this movie has to be the best one. I think nostalgia is the only reason why the other Spider-Man movies are getting compared to this one. This movie had everything to it: action, emotional scenes, comedy. It was a very creative movie. It just had everything to it, and what a movie it was. If I had to give it a rating out of 10, I probably would give it a 9.5. I think the wait was worth it, and the most exciting thing right now is that there's another edition of Spider-Man that's going to be released. There's not too many details about it, but I'm going to be very intrigued to see how they're going to carry on the Spider-Man franchise with Tom Holland and what the next Spider-Man movie is going to be about. Now we're at the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and peace.